Okay, this little mini lesson is going to address one of the big debates among pastelists, to blend or not to blend. And blending, what we're really doing, we're doing one of two things. We're making a gradation within a form, or where two forms are meeting up and create an edge, we're wanting to soften that edge. So how do we do that effectively? One of the things about pastel that's so beautiful is the luminosity of it. And over blending can kind of kill that luminosity. So let me talk about the first way I think about blending. All right, I'm going to come in here. I'm going to just do a little kind of sunset sky sort of deal. So I'm going to come in here and mop in what's going to be the darkest value of my sky, even though it's not very dark. And I'm going to come in here and I'm just kind of mopping in using the whole side of the stick here. It's a little piece I've got, but that's okay. And I'm putting down a fair amount of material. All right, so now I'm going to come in with this pink. And if I come in here like so, I've sort of got this edge, but I want more of a gradation in here. So I'm just going to come and drag this pink pastel into the blue so I get more of a gradation. And right now I'm blending. I'm marrying the blue and the pink together. So this would be my main modality of blending. All right, now I'm going to come in with an even, this is a, really, maybe that's not exactly what I want, guys. Let's see. This one's just a tad lighter. All right, so I'm going to come in here with this yellow down here. Same thing. I want to marry the pink and the yellow together, so I'm going to mop this together like so. And I'm blending. Now I'm going to come back up here in the sky. A little bit more pressure in the blue. And if I want, I can come up here with this pink. Now, let's talk about another, we've got a gradation with this shape, within a shape. Now I'm going to talk about where one shape meets another. So suppose I had a distant mountain shape back here. And I just get something in for that. But I really want more of a soft edge. How do I get that soft edge? Well, without getting in there with my finger, I can come back in with this yellow and just very lightly drag it over. See, I'm using the side of it, dragging it over the edge and just getting a nice soft edge. And then I can come back in with the blue and sort of put that together. So that's more of what I would want. Now let's try another approach here with this. let's say now I'm gonna use my finger. So I'm gonna come in here and do the same thing that I did here. And I'm going to use my finger. Use my finger. Now there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it at all. I'm going to wipe my finger off a little bit. The problem with finger blending is that one of the beautiful things about pastels is we're using these little particles of pigment that are sitting up on the paper. The minute we start rubbing on those particles, we're diminishing the luminosity. We're taking away the edges of it and rubbing the edges into one another, and we're sort of defeating the purpose in a way of using pastel. When we've applied the pastel in this way, it's optically mixing. Over here, we've mechanically mixed it. And optical mixing lets those particles play and be luminous. Mechanical blending has a, to be honest, a kind of a deader look. The other thing about blending that happens is we get really reliant on finger blending to do the work of the gradation and these edges. And what we really need to learn to do is we need to learn to have that light touch, to be able to come along that edge and drag the pastel and get a soft edge. And sometimes we get impatient and we don't want to do that work, so we rely on our fingers. The other thing that I'm going to give a try here is using a tool. Okay, you can use, there's these kind of little tools out there, right, that you can use, like a cosmetic wedge. Well, the thing about that is, guys, that we're actually subtracting a ton of pigment when we do that. We're taking away pigment. We're lifting it off. We're not really blending. So those mechanical tools, gotta say, I don't think, see that? I'm just lifting it right off. That's all I'm doing. I'm just taking some away. And yes, it does blend it by taking some away, but it also gives it has that sort of dead look to it. And we can just really rely on that too heavily. Now what I'm going to say is that we can do a combination. And in my work, I definitely use my fingers. There's nothing wrong with it inherently, but I do it very selectively, very judiciously. Is that, I don't know if I pronounced that right. You know what I mean? And I can come in here, and what I'm doing here is I'm just coming along and filling the tooth of the paper in just a couple of spots so that I have an overall effect that I want. And I might come here along this edge and just hit that edge just really soft. But I'm not going to get in here and rub. That's not what I'm not going to get in here and do that number. So that's what I think about blending. Just take some time and practice that touch of being able to marry one edge into the next. And once you learn how to do it, and just use the pastels to blend. They're the best blending sticks, really, blending tool. So there you have my, I don't know if it's a definitive word on blending, but that's my 2 cents. So have fun, enjoy, keep painting.